Lucas. We're here in Austin, Texas to ask a couple of questions to some of the locals here in one of the statistically most informed towns in the nation. Who's our vice president? Who's our vice president? Right now.
God, I'm blanking on his name. I can picture him. Give me a second. I'm embarrassed. Yeah, I know who he is, but I can't think of him.
Hey, who's the vice president of the United States? Who's the vice president of the United States?
The vice president?
Yeah.
I forget.
Who's our vice president?
Excuse me?
Vice president right now?
Oh, gosh. Oh, you got me on that one.
And who's our vice president?
More.
Who's the vice president of the United States?
Don't know.
What year did 9/11 happen in?
9/11? Man, that was so long ago.
What year did 9/11 happen?
2002?
What year did 9/11 happen in?
2011.
What year did 9/11 happen in?
2000.
Let me ask you, what year did 9/11 happen?
It seems like it's around 2003 or something.
And what year did September 11th happen?
2001, I believe.
Okay, and who is
No, wait a minute. We just had the 10th anniversary. Hang on.
So what year?
97.
What year did September 11th happen in?
2002?
What year did September 11th happen in?
2002.
What year did 9/11 happen?
91.
Yeah, 9/11, yeah.
81.
What year did 9/11 happen in?
2002?
Don't help her. What year did 9/11 happen in?
2006.
Okay, and you know who the defense
No, I'm sorry, 2000 and I was a sophomore in college. 2002.
What year did September 11th happen in?
2000?
What does the First Amendment pertain to?
Don't remember.
What does the First Amendment of the Constitution pertain to?
I'm not sure.
What's the First Amendment of the Constitution pertain to?
I have no idea.
What does your First Amendment pertain to?
Don't know.
What does our First Amendment pertain to?
The citizenship of the United States, the freedom.
Okay, yeah, but what does it pertain to?
To the people of the United States.
What's the First Amendment of the Constitution pertain to?
I should know this. What is wrong with me? The First Amendment of our Constitution is individual liberties.
What does our First Amendment pertain to?
What?
The First Amendment, what does that pertain to?
The first?
Yeah. What does the First Amendment of the Constitution pertain to?
I can't remember, but I should know that.
Yeah, everybody should actually. What's the First Amendment of the Constitution pertain to? What's our First Amendment pertain to?
Oh God, I know that one. It's that's so good. I don't know.
And what does the United States First Amendment pertain to of the Constitution? How about the First Amendment to the Constitution? Do you know what that pertains to?
That is... boy, I don't remember which one it is.
What does our First Amendment pertain to?
First Amendment. The fourth is freedom of speech. The first, right to bear arms.
And what does the First Amendment of the Constitution pertain to?
Oh.
Yeah, First Amendment.
Oh man, you know what? I can't remember that one.
I get your shirt, man. What does the First Amendment pertain to?
First Amendment. Freedom
freedom of choice.
And what's our First Amendment pertain to?
Right to wear arms.
What's the first of the First Amendment of the Constitution pertain to?
I have no idea.
Who's our Secretary of Defense?
I don't know, actually now.
Who is the Secretary of Defense?
I don't know.
Who is the Defense Secretary of the United States?
I have no idea.
Do you know who the Secretary of Defense is? Who's our Secretary of Defense?
Is it Condoleezza Rice?
Who's our Secretary of Defense?
Oh, Condoleezza Rice.
Who is the Secretary of Defense?
Rumsfeld, or I don't know.
Who's our Secretary of Defense?
Oh no.
Who is the Secretary of Defense?
I don't know.
Who's our Secretary of Defense?
It is Donald Rumsfeld.
Who is the Secretary of the Defense?
Secretary of Defense is President Rumsfeld.
Who's our Secretary of Defense?
It changed. Wasn't it, what's his name? I don't know.
Who's our Secretary of Defense?
It's not Donald Rumsfeld anymore, is it? Condoleezza Rice?
Who is our Secretary of State? Secretary of Defense.
I don't know.
Who's the Secretary of Defense?
I don't
Who is the Secretary of Defense?
Secretary. Rumsfeld?
Who is our current Secretary of Defense?
Secretary of Defense. Can't think of that.
Do you know who the Defense Secretary is?
The what?
Secretary of Defense.
Rumsfeld?
Who is our Secretary of Defense? You know who the Secretary of Defense is?
No, I don't.
Who is the Defense Secretary? Do you know?
Defense Secretary. Donald Rumsfeld was our former Defense Secretary. I don't recall what the name of our new one. Petraeus?
Who's the Secretary of Defense?
No idea.
Who is our Secretary of Defense?
Donald Rumsfeld?
Who's our Secretary of Defense?
Rumsfeld.
You know who the Secretary of Defense is?
I don't know.
Who's our Secretary of Defense right now?
Oh, gosh. You got it.
Who's our Secretary of Defense?
Secretary of Defense? Yeah, we switched them out a couple times, didn't we? I don't remember.
Yeah, they keep us rolling like that. Who's the Secretary of Defense?
I got it.
Who is our Secretary of Defense?
Condoleezza Rice?
Who's our Secretary of Defense?
It's not Rumsfeld anymore. Who is it now? This is on the tip of my tongue. I was reading the New York Times about this, this morning in reference to him. I have no idea who it is.
Who's our Secretary of Defense?
Secretary of Defense? Oh God, I don't believe I know her name. Female, correct?
Do you know who the Secretary of Defense is?
Donald Rumsfeld.
Who's our Secretary of Defense?
Is it Rumsfeld?
Who's the Vice President? Pigeon. What year did September 11th happen in? Who's our Vice President?
Cheney.
Okay. And what does our First Amendment of the Constitution pertain to?
Freedom of speech.
Okay. And who is our Defense Secretary?
Robert Gates.
There you go. Most people don't get that one right.
I'm an Aggie.
What year did September 11th happen in?
2001.
So you probably want to get informed, get educated, and learn what these people don't know. And don't be like this guy.